The SCA is a medieval recreation group. Some people equate us with a Ren Fair, but we're very different from Ren Fairs. A Ren Fair, you pay your money, you go in, and you're entertained by actors. There are no entertainers here, and there are no actors in the SCA. Everybody plays, everybody participates. And what we do is we study the Middle Ages. Most people pick a particular time period or an event that they're interested in, and they study it, and they try to dress as those people in that time period would dress. And they basically learn the history of what was going on at that time. And some of our people are actually pretty knowledgeable about certain specific time periods. We are part of the Kingdom of Artemisia, which is a region of the United States. It includes Montana, most of Idaho, Utah, and parts of Wyoming and Colorado. Within that region, there are smaller local chapters based on membership. You can be a barony or a shire or an incipient shire. It just depends on how many people you have playing in your group. It's one of those hobbies that just draws you in, and the more you play, the more you get drawn in. We have people who have just come to an event, had a good time, and a couple of years later, they're sewing their own garb, and they're almost experts on a particular time period in history and can tell you all about it and where to go to research it. And it's amazing how quickly people get drawn in. We have one person in our group who is very interested in 1066 and the Battle of Hastings. Actually, several people in our group. In fact, we had an event based on that particular battle, and these people taught classes on how to make a Saxon tent and what type of clothing a Saxon warrior would have worn at that time period and what the ladies of that time period wore. We are a barony because we have the high enough membership numbers, and so unlike a shire or an incipient shire, we have a baron and baroness. And so our group, because of the baron and baroness, we can give out awards. If you are interested, you can come to a weekly meeting that we call fighter practice, and you can talk to people, find out what you're interested in, and pick up a membership application and just mail your membership application in with your membership dues.
Assembled royals, knights, pelicans, laurels, noble populace of this great kingdom, before you now comes the guardian of your reaches to the west, Catherine and Ulrich, Baron and Baroness of Artemisia.
Here comes before you your most loyal and humble servant.
This day, a part of the coronation of John and Symone, the new king and queen, each local nobility, the baron and baroness of all the baronies, processed in to show their fealty, something that you would see very commonly in medieval Europe. The current king and queen will call forth the king and queen that just stepped down, and they will enter them into the order. The old queen will be at the Order of the Rose.
Hereby invest you coronet of your new rank. In this tradition, we ask you, in our name, this coronet on your consort's brows. We, John II, hereby grant you lands and titles of Countess and name you Trelock McLaughlin, Countess of Artesia.
Know all gentles by these presents that we, John II and Symone, King and Queen of Artesia, in recognition that our subject, David Aldamachi, has reigned once as Sultan of our realm, we hereby acknowledge him Qadi, to affirm his right to bear arms by letters capital. In witness whereof we set our hands this 13th day of September, Anno Societatis 38, in 2003 in the common era.
Right now we have the Kingdom Rapier Championship getting ready to start. We just had a new king and queen crowned today, and they'll reign for 6 months. And every coronation we have a new rapier champion chosen, a new armored champion chosen, and a new Bard of Artemisia chosen. So we have several tournaments going on at this event.
I accept. All right.
Victor, Defender Wilhelm.
I am Don Dietrich Schneewolf, Baron of 1000 Eyes, which is the Southeast Idaho chapter of the Society for Creative Anachronism. Baron is one of those titles that, well, actually, in this case, as a landed Baron, my lady and I were elected by the populace of the group to act as the heads of state, basically, for the barony. It's kind of like being the chapter president of the Lions or something of that nature. And then you act as appointees of the crown in that respect, and you can give baronial awards to people in the barony. And just generally, you're not only the ceremonial head, but you're also the executive head of the chapter.
Honorable Lord Wilhelm, Lord Michael, take the field. His Excellency, Sir Timur, get ready for the bye.
Well, the rapier combat, or as it's sometimes referred to, unarmored combat, because that is the armor standard that we use when we're out there fighting, is we are acting as if we had met on the street, drawn blades, and proceeded to fight. So we are basically wearing street clothes. We have no armor at all. You can trace the origins all the way back as far as the sword, because the rapier is just another variant of the several thousand different types of swords that have been used over the years. A lot of people think it's kind of, in some respects, it's a culmination of the cut and thrust style of blade, as opposed to the hacking style of blade that you usually think of with a long sword or a broadsword. But it's primarily a thrusting weapon, so generally only the point and the top 4 or 5 inches is sharp, but it's razor sharp. It's a very thin profile blade, so it's not very thick this way, although it can be anywhere from a half to 1.5 inches wide. And usually you'll have what they call a distal taper, where it'll be wider at the hilt and narrower at the point, to not only allow penetration, but also to increase the amount of damage that gets done in the case that you actually hit someone. But as I said, only about the top 4 or 5 inches, the 4 or 5 inches around the tip is the only part that's really sharp. So you can get some draw cuts, but it's primarily a thrusting weapon.
Lady Asheen, Defender Wilhelm, take the field.
My name's Baron Timur, Baron Sir Timur. I'm from the barony of Loch Solon, which is in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the mundane world. And I just got done doing a bout with Master Guillaume, who's a master of the laurel and also a don on the rapier field, which is just incredible and just incredibly adept rapier fighter. And what happened is we competed in a non-destructive buy, which means there was an odd man out, and so I got to fight him. And in this opportunity, he went ahead and I came down low, and he took total advantage of that by slicing my back open. Then to make sure I was very dead, he stabbed me in the tummy.
It's hard to pick just one thing that's a favorite thing in the SCA because there is so much to do. It can literally be a lifetime of entertainment for you.
I'm having so much fun. It's been a good day. The weather's beautiful, company's great. I can't complain.
I look forward to everything in the SCA.